Hey Age of Empires fans, you've got currently Pwn Star, aka Shrooms, Judgment Knight, with you today. Hope everybody's doing well. AoE TV's got a game for you titled It Happens, and basically it's going to kind of go over some things you should do during a rush, um, some things that you should maybe do if they're built really close to you, and kind of how to just deal with some of the randomness, so to speak, of the RNG maps. Um, this should help anyone from Age of Empires 1 mostly. Um, it does happen in Age of Empires 2, but some of the more recent updates have kind of nulled this out mostly. Age of Empires 3 as well, but specifically 1 and 2. So we're going to jump right into it. Do want to go over a couple of things about AoE TV. We should be starting up Age of Empires 2 gameplay tomorrow. I know we've promised this before, but we've had the content. Just needed to kind of dub it and all that other stuff and get it prepared. So yeah, we're going to start Age of Empires 2 gameplay tomorrow, and we're currently requesting Age of Empires 1, 2, or 3, doesn't matter, mythology, random map. We don't have a whole lot of random map or standard map gameplay, so we're going to start trying to focus that, get at least one of those a day, along with maybe one deathmatch or one Wonder War, something along those lines. So let's go ahead and hop into the It Sometimes Happens. Okay, so this is a 2v2. All expert players here. We're spawning at like 3 and 4 o'clock. We're expecting them to kind of spawn, 9, 10, something like that, 9, 11 o'clock. The one thing I could do here is just verify that. Instead of building these stables right here, I could go to the other side of the map and just verify that that's where they're spawning. Takes time, but sometimes it's worth it. So everything is going pretty naturally. 4 town center start for me. I believe my buddy here, Kurt, is doing the same thing. 4 town center start. So this is kind of where the issue somewhat arises. I've got kind of a slower civilization here, the Hittites. They're very strong. They're not a bad civ by any means, but they're stable base for the most part, and they just don't really have a great answer for infantry. And then I notice he's got, racks here, and not just 1 or 2. So he didn't just walk across the map and start building. He's very close to me at this point. I know this for a fact. So basically, if you look at the map, he spawned at maybe 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock. When we spawned at basically 3 and 4 o'clock. So for the south eastern hemisphere of this map, there's 3 players on it. And as you can see, like, my stuff's not even getting done before he's killing it for the most part. And partially that's because he's a really good player. I mean, he's doing everything right. The other team is doing everything right. But partially that is because he's got legions, A, B, he's a really good player, and C, I was not prepared for this. I was expecting him to be, somewhere else. So sometimes it just happens. And you just gotta do the best you can. About this point, the game's pretty much over. I mean, he's got stuff at my town center. Even if I were to thwart this, defend myself somehow, get that hill maybe, there's no possible way I can come back. I don't have enough room to really build farms or, mine my gold. So what do you do in this scenario? Again, you need to check, just verify where they're spawning at, especially on something like this. I could have actually placed a wall here in front of my, I guess, my woods here down. That would have helped a little bit. And again, had I seen a little earlier, it would have pushed him up to have to attack this hill. and that's where most of my stuff was originally anyways. That could have possibly, saved me for a little longer. This still would have been a tough matchup, no questions. Um, but it being that he was basically about 2 inches away from me, was building, you know, um, his racks about 2 inches away from my town center. There was just nothing I could really do. We put up a valiant effort, no doubt. But the reason I'm going over this is because I don't want people to think that, like, oh, he cheated, oh, yeah, he's just too good. Um, I mean, it was a mix of things for sure, and honestly, most of it was just it's a really bad map. It gave green Tristorm basically 50% of this map. He could just do whatever the heck he wanted. Um, and he did. I mean, he did. He played it very well. He put pressure on reds. The red couldn't help me. He took over his 50% of the map, which means he has, again, a lot of the gold, a lot of the extra resources. So all he has to do is really stay alive and apply pressure. Make sure that, yellow wasn't going to die there, which he wasn't. So a couple things that you can do, again, is scout a little better. I definitely messed up there on the scouting. Um, instead of assuming, I should have, verified. Use walls instead of houses, and, I recommend all of it, but in my case, I just kind of used, military buildings, houses, and towers. Um, Against such a fast infantry, I would really even say any infantry, just because they're going to flood in like ants. Use walls and then tower, house, tower, and military behind that wall. I think that would have helped me a little bit. I don't think it would have, turned the tide too heavily, but I think it would have allowed me to at least survive without my economy getting attacked 4 minutes into the game, essentially. It would have brought the fight a little bit more to the middle of the map. And then second thing you can do is build around the person. So if he's trying to essentially build into your houses or into your town centers, or very close to your town centers, you can sometimes go around them, like above or below them, and then essentially, while he's trying to attack your buildings, you're attacking his buildings. So it becomes a little counterproductive for him, because if he kills 4 town centers, but you kill 7 or 8, 9, 10 barracks, and you're still going forward, he's going to have to come back for that. The last thing you can really do, which I didn't even have many units to do it here, or I don't think I have the right ones, is you can always send the fastest unit. So heavy horse archer, your heavy cavalry, or anything like a chariot. Greek has really fast centurions, so you can send like the faster units to the middle of their base. So again, had I done a couple of those first few things with the wall and the scouting, I may have been able to like push some people to his economy basically, or try to attack his houses or something along those lines. So there's a couple things that you can do. I didn't do almost any of them, and you see the results. But if you can, again, kind of just use walls and stuff like that, a lot of these, what are perceived as rushes, or being cheaters, or like whatever, can actually be held off. You just have to do it the proper way. Again, we went over a couple of those things, so I'm not going to ramble on. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. We are having YouTube is our main focus for video right now, for video content. So definitely go and hit the subscribe button on that. This is where this video is going to go, and all the rest of them. We are going to take a look at Facebook one more time when the beta comes into, or when the, Creator Studio gets out of beta. So thanks for joining us today. I hope everybody's doing well again. I appreciate y'all watching.